USDA has a plan to halt the New World screwworm, plus timber prices continue to fall, and a lot more on today's episode of the Arkansas iCast, which starts right now.
You're listening to the Arkansas AgCast, where we discuss the latest news, trends, and issues impacting Arkansas farmers and ranchers. Our show is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau Federation and hosted by Jason Brown and John Nickman.
Hey, that's us.
Good morning.
Good morning. It is bright and early.
It is.
On Wednesday. Still not recording on Thursday.
No.
But it's such a busy time of year for us. Just didn't happen this week.
I mean, we're here though. I think that's what really matters. It doesn't matter what day,
No,
as long as that we're here.
we're here and we've got news.
Well, yes. New news
I have not.
every week.
I have not even had half a cup of coffee.
I haven't had a cup of coffee.
Look, hey, me
goodness.
either. I think it's very apparent by, if you want to hear how the sausage is made, we did do the intro 3 times because I did mess up.
It was not
3
me
times.
this time, actually.
It was just me. So it's early.
It's okay. It got us laughing. We were all just kind of making our way through it for a minute.
Yeah. I mean, I was just
Got
here
those endorphins
sitting,
rolling.
waiting on both of y'all to get it right.
get it-
That's
to get
all
it
you
right?
do.
Yeah.
You just show up on time and wait
I
for
didn't show up on time.
Never mind.
I didn't show up on time.
Never mind.
Strike one on me.
So obviously, welcome Matthew to the show.
Yeah,
It's
we got
been
Matthew.
quite a while.
It has been a while.
We're very glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. Brian is taking some time off. Well deserved, well needed time off. We hope he's enjoying that. And in the meantime, the show must go on. And that means Matthew is doing his thing.
Means you're stuck with me.
I like it.
I like a good Matthew week.
Don't you, though?
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah,
'cause-
it's kind of switches it up.
well, and considering how things have been going for us with trivia,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
He
it's
provides
welcome.
information, whereas the wizard, Brian Pistole, likes to just shut us
The
down.
wizard
Yeah.
just, makes
Tear
us.
our
makes you
dreams
feel
down.
bad about how much
Yeah.
you know.
Ruins
Yeah,
my week a little bit.
Those last 2 weeks were rough to watch.
We're 0 for 6, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, man.
Not only that, to compound things, we went into this long, drawn-out detail last week about how we've been working on our philosophy of how we choose categories and how this is going to be better and it's going to be different and blah, blah, blah. And we still didn't get a single answer correct.
Yeah. Our working thesis doesn't work very well.
Yeah. We used the word hypothesis a few times. Like we were way
Theory,
into
I
it.
should
But,
say, not thesis.
Anyway, we do have some good news to cover, as we mentioned, some other information that you guys may want to know about. Like there are new now 2 commodities on the harvest board, as we'll call it, in Arkansas. So we'll talk about that. Today is the Ag Appreciation Luncheon, which is why I'm in a suit today. It's an annual event here at Farm Bureau where we invite those, I should say, folks from the state agencies that we work with.
Correct.
Throughout the year. We work with through both ag issues and rural issues all together. And we have a sit-down lunch with those folks to make sure they understand we appreciate them, but also to understand a little bit of what they do and how we can be helpful.
Yeah. It's just another way to say thank you and build that relationship, too, at the same time.
Looking forward to that today. Always a good time. Let me see. What else? Matthew, what were you were out yesterday.
Yeah, I went. I was down in old Johnny Mac's neck of the woods in Stuttgart.
How about that?
Sugar Town, maybe.
Went
Yeah.
and saw Jordan Meyer and his farm.
Oh, yeah?
And we.
Do you know him?
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
Jordan very well.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah,
About
grew up
same age range, right?
He's a grade or a year younger than me.
Okay.
Did y'all ever hang out
Yeah.
on the 4th of July?
I'm sure we did.
What about
Now, Jordan's a very
ever been a
straight-laced
refrigerator?
guy. What you see in Jordan is a very
Yeah,
good character.
Very,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why
So-
maybe y'all fell out of touch.
No, we did fall out of touch.
Okay.
I just don't live there anymore. So it's like,
Okay.
Anyways, went there. He's got a great operation. But we saw he was cutting rice yesterday, so got to watch the dusty fields just get going. You know?
So
they were running.
We've been talking about this the past couple of weeks, and I think last week was the first week that we had rice acres harvested to report from USDA. So are they just getting going? Where are they in the process?
I think he was like they were day 3 yesterday. Okay. So they're moving, but some of that, I guess, was it hurricane little rain pop up stuff that happened yesterday. It might slow some people down a little bit. I don't know if there was substantial enough rain to stop anybody, but
yeah.
And on Monday, I was actually up in Blytheville for Mississippi County's annual meeting, talking to the guys up there. They all felt like, probably Monday of next week, everybody will be moving.
Yeah.
So,
see any corn?
Y'all
harvested?
Saw 2 fields of corn off the side of the interstate on my drive up to Blytheville, but that was it. And yesterday there was a few, combines running in cornfields too, but. Really saw more rice getting cut yesterday than corn, which, happens some years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it seems like this year.
Probably heard me say this before, but when you think about harvest in Arkansas, you got to think it starts at the bottom and makes its way up as time goes on. Mm-hmm. So the further south you are, for the warmer it is, or whatever, earlier they planted, whatever that may be. So harvest will always start down there and then trickle its way up to northeast Arkansas.
Yeah, I wonder when Louisiana started with the rice.
I don't know. I should have looked at. I could have looked at their data, but yeah. So, with that being said, you were in Stuttgart. They're a few days into rice cutting, but nothing up in Mississippi County yet. So.
I will say one of the most interesting things, not on rice harvest, but that Jordan said yesterday was that, you look at the spring and planting, and he has bean fields that were planted mid-April, but then he also has bean fields that were planted June 5th. Yeah. So it's like that. I think soybean harvest specifically is going to be a very, drawn out thing this year.
Yeah. Was the June 5th replant, or they just weren't able to get in?
They weren't able to get in the fields.
Because that April 7th is when, right around there, is when that flooding and all that rain came through.
Yeah, I think
that's interesting.
Just they weren't able to get in because it was so wet. And, we just... them up. Every time it would get dry, we'd get another, big shower that got it all muddy again.
So last year we had what looked like we had good yields on rice last year, but when you got to the milling quality, any outlook or perspective there from yesterday?
He hadn't, got to milling anything yet, but he did say as far as crop quality, it was, good to excellent. Everything looked good in the field. Yeah. So it will just be, did, those hot days, affect what the plant did. And, he had a good outlook on that. I don't know that the outlook on, are you going to make any money was there.
Sure.
But I think that's just across the board right now.
So I read an article in Arkansas Business yesterday. They had talked to Hunter Byram, friend of the AgCast.
Yep.
Shout out if you're listening, Hunter. But Hunter says break even is a best case scenario this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd also read that, if you can push yields, you may have a chance. But again, that costs money, right?
Yep.
To do that. But they're optimistic, it seems like, this year that they're going to have a good milling quality.
Okay.
So that'll help. Potentially.
Yeah. Have you talked to Harkey at all? Or have you?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I haven't.
Okay.
I know Justin on our team has had conversations with him, so we might be doing a video with him, in the coming weeks to look at that. But.
Yeah, I'd like to know what that's like if we do that.
Did you eat lunch while you're down there?
We didn't eat lunch in Stuttgart. We talked about it. We were between the country gossip or coming back to Scott Station, and we ended up going to Scott Station. So
Scott Station's a good one.
Yeah.
You ever been at Sportsman's?
Have not.
Not big, delicious burger.
Very good.
Delicious burger.
Very good.
Yep.
Very good.
It's kind of like would you call it Sportsman's? Kind of like a dive bar almost.
Yeah, that's across from the Duck Inn, right?
Yeah, the old Duck Inn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you go to Max? Bass Pro.
Yeah,
Max
Cabela's.
Bass Pro.
Yeah, I didn't go because we were worried about seeing some celebrities. We were like, we don't need to be in Max. We might get caught up there.
We were here.
You wouldn't have seen us.
We weren't down there. We were.
I wondered why we had that cardboard cutout with you guys holding some ducks up.
Yeah,
it's going to Max.
The doors automatically open as soon as I walk up to Max.
Yeah.
They know me.
Hey, so
Bass Pro. That's a motion sensor.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Good. Thanks for the unexpected rice harvest report there.
I think everyone's antsy to get rolling. Basically just to see, like, hey, are we going to break even this year?
Yeah.
So
good to know.
It's tough.
Yeah. See any ducks?
No ducks.
Yeah, it's a little early.
It's a little early for that.
It's just I can't be hopeful.
Don't get your hopes
Come on, man.
Oh, what else do you have before we get into this here news?
Let's see. Farmers Market registration is still open. It'll be open till the end of next week.
Mm-hmm.
So check that out. I'm sure the link's in our show notes. If you or anybody in your county is interested in being a part of the farmers market, there's just a few requirements. Again, you have to be selling a product, and that product has to be either Arkansas grown or Arkansas made here in the state. And you don't have to be a Farm Bureau member to apply, but if you're awarded one of those spaces, you do have to be a member. So if you're not a member yet, you can have the opportunity to purchase one. So $40 a year to be a Farm Bureau member. It comes with a bunch of benefits. And also there's a $50 refundable deposit. So if you're awarded one of those spaces, you'll put down the $50 deposit, and then if you attend both days of the farmers market, you'll get your $50 back.
Nice.
If you don't attend both days, you won't. So just keep all that in mind. We'd be happy to have you. So it's always a good time. And then also my last thing is we still have the college pick'em.
That's right.
For the show. If you want to compete with Jason, Brian, and Matthew, and I on weekly college football games to see who can guess the most games correctly of who's going to win, the link for that to join our group will also be in the show notes. You'll probably see something on social media about it too. I have a good feeling I'll probably win amongst this group. But
you have a pretty bad track record.
That's fantasy football, and that's the NFL.
Oh, that's different.
Yes.
Yeah, you did do okay in the March Madness.
I won it.
Well,
you won I forgot about that.
I don't know if you should have won it. I think
no, he shouldn't have.
There's some hurt feelings.
As usual,
here.
hard work. It always comes with a benefit.
Well, that's just how it goes.
But if you want to prove me wrong, I would gladly invite you to come join us in our college pick'em. Our peanut correspondent has joined the group, Heath Donner.
How about that? Welcome, Heath.
And a representative from Peach Pickin' Paradise, Mr. Mark Morgan.
Yeah,
I love that.
And our local affairs lobbyist, Mr. Will Hopkins, who won our fantasy football league last year.
It scares me.
He did. He beat me, from the doors of death.
Yeah. Matthew's been pretty good at fantasy football.
He's really good at it.
Yeah, I got second last year, and Will beat me because he had a kicker score like 45 points in the final. But,
he did his research.
No hurt feelings over here. None.
Speaking of
not at all.
Kickers doing work. Did y'all see that? Was it the Razorback kicker that kicked that 72-yarder or something like that?
Yeah, it's the bad thing about it is I don't think it goes down as a record, right?
Because preseason.
Oh, because preseason, yeah.
But he's never. They put a stat out the other day. In his entire career, from high school till the NFL, he's never missed an extra point.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that's tough things to say.
But it's already out there in the public. Everybody's read it.
That's a commentator's curse. He's gonna miss 4 in a row now.
Yeah.
Speaking of sports, do y'all watch the Little League World Series at all?
It's on in the gym when I go in there, but no.
I don't know why, but every year I find myself watching it and highly entertained with it.
Yeah, really.
I don't know. I mean, it's not like I get into it, but if it's on TV, I'm going to sit there and watch it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I will say it was on in the locker room the other day, and they were having food. The announcers were having food from the countries that were playing.
Yeah.
And I thought, boy, that seems like something we would do. Like we would enjoy on this show. They were having a plate of Japanese food and a plate of tacos from Mexico or something like that. And I thought that was a pretty cool way to bring the culture of the countries into the mix.
We should have more food brought to us.
We should. Yeah. Only one of your biggest pet peeves is chewing or eating in the microphone.
Yeah, eating on the microphone is...
Yeah, it's not great.
It doesn't make for great TV. Matter of fact, they would raise their mics up to eat in between plays or whatever. But anyway, I thought that was a cool part of the League World Series.
Yeah. So. Speaking of food, the State Fair's coming up, Matthew.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We are going to put a meeting together next week. I've been meaning to tell you that. So.
Yeah.
if you're willing to come back.
Yeah,
I've heard that there's rumbling of maybe turning it into a fine dining experience. You know?
I would appreciate some higher end food.
Well, it's not. It's no. Still fair food.
I didn't
fine
expect
dining.
it, but I would enjoy it.
A little white tablecloth. You know, some candles.
Oh, a nice suit.
A nice suit
To the fair.
Yeah, to eat some corn dogs.
Eat some corn dogs.
It'll be nice and cool out there.
I just kind of had my stomach rolling a little bit. When you said corn dog.
Look, hey, I'm just saying, you know, we got to change it up. So
That's right.
You know, the blindfolds have done their thing. So.
Yeah, I'm perfectly
The blindfolds never get old.
So we're gonna break out the nice silverware in China for the corn dog.
Yep. I'm going to Goodwill and buying some fine china.
Give me a suit while you're there too.
Oh, that's awesome. See what you get when you listen to this show. You get you get a preview of all the other
Not a lot of
content
people
that
out there
we're
wearing
working
suits and eating corn dogs.
But if anybody could own it, buddy,
if anyone will do it, it's John McMahon. So.
Yeah, I love it.
Somebody's got to do it.
You did have a corn dog microphone last year.
I did. That was a big hit.
Yeah.
And to remind you, I think that was my idea.
Yeah, it was your idea. So,
don't worry, the royalty checks are coming your way.
yeah.
One of these days.
You keep getting paid for all your work on this show.
Man. I'm just rolling it.
Anyway. All right. Well, let's take a look at crop condition and harvest progress here real quick. All right. New news, as John likes to say. Corn, we have, looking at the condition first, looks like 65% of the crop's good to excellent and 29% fair to poor. There's a little bit of a downgrade this week on that. We'll have to see if that continues to hold. But the news is that 17% of the crop in Arkansas is harvested. Mm-hmm. I was so in disbelief when I read this in the USDA reports yesterday. I called two different individuals to verify this. I talked to Tyler Oxner, and I talked to Jason Kelly. I'm like, please tell me I'm reading this correctly. They both think it's right. Jason said specifically south of Pine Bluff, we've seen a lot of corn being cut down there. And the last year at this time we were at 15%. So we're actually slightly ahead. Yeah. We are well ahead of the 5-year. Mm-hmm. I will note that, which is another thing that caused me to kind of question that. But we're going with USDA's number, which is 17% harvested in the state. So
you were concerned USDA was lying to us?
No, I was concerned I was reading the report incorrectly. I was, let me tell you, this is all you need to know. I was in Quick Stats.
Okay.
And, I'm still learning that. So
it's not an enjoyable system to play around with.
No, it's not.
Look, we just here at the Arkansas Adcast, we like to verify information.
I understand.
I literally did not feel comfortable saying 17% on this show. I was just going to leave it out rather than. So that's why I started making phone calls.
As an economist, you can say things and it's okay if you're wrong.
Because you're like, hey,
wasn't
on me.
What's the future? We're just kind of rolling with it.
And
if you're wrong, you tell them why you were wrong. So
yeah. Okay.
Sounds like everyone's favorite,
meteorologist.
I never saw that link before.
Have you not?
No, I do. No. Rice, which Matthew was just talking to us about, he said that crop condition looks good. USDA agrees. Good to excellent. 69%, almost 70% of the crop, with the other 30% being in the fair to poor range. Looks like we have harvested about 4% of the crop. That's as of Monday, right? So, or I guess Sunday, because this report comes out on Monday. So I bet we see this double when we come back and talk next week.
Sounds like it.
This week last year we were double that. We were at 8%. So we're a little behind on rice harvest as of right now, but we'll see if that remains the case. Soybeans, only 60% of the crop looking good to excellent, with another 39% fair to poor. That means 1% is hanging down there in that very poor range. Cotton, though, a different story. 73% of the cotton crop good to excellent, with 27% of the crop fair to poor. Peanuts continue to look strong. at 77% good to excellent, 23% fair to poor. Still ways off, obviously, on harvest for cotton or peanuts or soybeans for that matter.
What do you think about 30 days on soybeans?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got a little while.
Yeah.
For sure. Have you seen any? Did you see any browning anywhere?
Yeah, I saw a little bit. Not much. It's mostly still green fields. So
okay. All right. Yeah. So, and I didn't report on bowls opening or anything like that on cotton, but maybe we can take a look at that next week. And then I thought we'd look at the pasture and range quality, just because I think we continue to see issues in this area, and it's worth talking about. 29% of pastures is good to excellent right now, with another 62% fair to poor. So I'm telling you, we are headed into a drought. We just talked about rain yesterday, or rain that we received here in Central Arkansas yesterday, and it rained on me on the way to work today.
Yeah.
Whether that is substantial enough to have any impact on drought, I don't know. But we are in wildfire risk across a lot of the state. We started to see burn bans pop up this week. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you how many of those. And this time next week, we could be in extreme drought conditions in Arkansas, from what I've read.
Yeah, I've noticed like the median and the sides of the interstate have gone real brown.
Yep. So
my trips.
I think it's time to start talking about what a drought condition could do. I'm just looking here. Wildfire danger, the entire state's at a moderate in wildfire danger. And I'm just counting just haphazardly here. I'd say 25% of the counties in Arkansas, maybe, in the burn ban.
Well, because anything we got yesterday with that, I was looking at the radar, and it was a lottery, and that lottery might have won you a tenth of an inch, right? Like it didn't actually rain substantially anywhere, I don't think. So
yeah, I nailed that. It's 25 counties in a burn ban. So
there you go.
Third of the counties in a burn ban. So just know that's sitting out there. So yeah. Anyway, we need rain and we need more of it.
That's true.
That's the thing. It has been feast or famine though. I mean, these pop-up storms. We saw wind damage down in Hot Springs. I read about this morning.
I saw a lot of limbs down after that storm we had here.
There's a tree down in my neighborhood.
Is there?
Yeah. So I mean, if you're getting it, you're getting it.
Yeah.
But cooler temperatures middle of next week. There's one day with a high 79 next week.
That'll be nice. Yesterday out in that rice field, I tell you what,
yesterday was hot.
I had a river of sweat on me after 3 minutes. It was like, oh my gosh, this is hot.
Yeah. All right.
Well, you want to get into our stories?
Let's do it.
Our news. So as we all know, the farm economy is not great. And with new developments coming out of John Deere, it looks like the company is feeling the same pains as our farmers are. John Deere announced it will lay off 238 employees at 3 manufacturing plants in Illinois and Iowa, citing reduced demand and lower order volumes for its farm machinery. The decision comes amid a broader slowdown in agricultural economy where high input costs, lower commodity prices, and tighter farm budgets are discouraging equipment purchases. The company's third quarter earnings reflected these challenges, with farm and precision agricultural sales down 16% year over year to $4.3 billion, and operating profit cut in half compared to 2024. Overall, sales for Deere declined 9%, though its construction and lawn equipment divisions helped offset that deeper loss for the company.
Mm-hmm.
Industry peers AGCO Corp and CNH Industrial also reported weaker results, underscoring that the pressures of Deere are part of a wider market condition. Inflation, high interest rates, and trade uncertainty continue to weigh on farmers, making them hesitant to commit to major capital investments in machinery, which we all know is incredibly expensive.
Yep.
Despite near-term setbacks, Deere highlighted its long-term commitment to U.S. manufacturing. The company has pledged nearly $20 billion in investments over the next decade to modernize and expand its facilities, including a major overhaul at its Harvester Works plant, while continuing to supply high-quality equipment to U.S. farmers. So it's kind of like I said at the beginning of that, was that I think this is really starting to trickle up through the economy, and kind of the same thing we've been reading or hearing about tariffs too. Is like we're probably somewhere around a month for those tariffs to really start making an impact on consumer goods.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're kind of seeing it on the ag side and equipment sales, and not so much the sales, but the manufacturing has decreased because of it.
Well, it's simple. I mean, if the farmer's not making money, they're not buying this equipment. And you know what's soon to come after that? All the other businesses.
Yeah.
That, whether it be a car dealership, whether that be a doctor's office, whether that be the grocery store, or restaurant.
In our soybean division last year, we were trying to come up. We're not trying to come up with ways. I tasked Jeremy Ross with, before he spoke, was like, if you can find anything for them to cut a cost here and there, provide that. And he said, I don't know where you're gonna. This was, I would say, in terms of like trying to produce a crop and what you're applying to it. You know, so. You know, there are probably some people out there that cut back on fertilizer, maybe. Yeah. You know, trying to cut some costs. But at the same time, can you really even afford to do that?
Yep.
You know, so this, cutting back on machinery, you're probably going to see a lot of part sales.
Yeah.
You know, in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, like you said, it's starting to trickle up. And pay close attention, because it's not going to slow down.
No.
All right. Well, as we mentioned at the top of the show, we're going to follow up on a topic that is seemingly really becoming a weekly thing on the show, and that is New World screwworm. By the way, my fourth grader came home telling me that they discussed the New World screwworm in her in her science class this week. So I was happy to hear that. On August 15th, U.S. Secretary of Ag Brooke Rollins announced a major new initiative to protect American livestock from the threat of New World screwworm. The United States Department of Ag will build a sterile fly production facility at the former Moore Air Force Base in Edinburgh, Texas. You've talked about that a couple times. That will be constructed in partnership with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. This will be the first facility of its kind in the U.S. in decades and capable of producing up to 300 million sterile screwworm flies each week. Okay, I think we talked about that. Remember, this is a laundry list of the things that we're doing. By releasing those sterile male flies into the environment, USDA aims to disrupt their reproduction and suppress populations before they reach the U.S. border. The Texas facility will complement existing plants in Panama and Mexico, which together now produce about 200 million sterile flies weekly. The project represents one of the largest federal investments in livestock protection in decades. USDA plans to dedicate up to $750 million for the new facility, $100 million for technology such as traps, lures, and sterilization methods, another $8.5 million for a dispersal facility in South Texas, and $21 million to boost fly production in that Matapa plant in Mexico. In all, nearly $880 million being committed to keep the parasite out of the United States. Additional prevention measures include new traps and lures. I don't think we've talked about any of these. Stockpiles of therapeutics and advanced sterilization techniques. More horse-mounted surveillance officers, known as tick riders, had not heard about this, will be deployed along the southern border, along with specially trained detection dogs and vehicle inspection systems. These efforts will be coordinated with U.S. Customs and Border Protection. USDA's Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service is also partnering with Mexico's to strengthen livestock movement control, expand trapping and case reporting, and enhance animal health monitoring. Meanwhile, the Food and Safety Inspection Service will continue inspecting animals and carcasses at processing plants to ensure meat safety. The New World screwworm is considered one of agriculture's most destructive parasites. Its larvae burrow into the flesh of warm-blooded animals, including cattle, horses, wildlife, and even humans, with infestations already reported as far north as Veracruz, Mexico, which is roughly 370 miles from Texas. So that risk is significant. And just a note, the U.S. cattle industry alone contributes more than $100 billion annually to the economy, which underscores really what's at stake here.
Yeah.
Of course, we'll continue to monitor this issue and provide updates as more information becomes available. If you're a livestock producer, you probably received some information from your commodity division newsletter this week on this topic. It's sort of quick moving and very urgent matter, I would say.
Yeah. They're moving north.
Yeah.
I think the last report was that they were 300 and something miles away from the border in Mexico, and before that, it was even, they had made so much more distance further north. So I would imagine they're even closer now.
Yeah, I was amazed. We eradicated this parasite in 1966. Mm-hmm. We were done with it. And Marilyn, my kiddo, was asking me, how did they come back? I was telling her that. I was like, I'm not real sure the answer to that question, but I know it's a threat. I did read that there's been far south of the U.S., but maybe Belize, there have been the first human case reported down there. But anyway, hopefully we continue to keep these things at bay. We know from James Mitchell's episode and the stories that you've done, our cattle industry cannot take any more inventory loss right now.
Supply is low.
Yeah, and if you have purchased beef at the grocery store recently, then you've seen that low inventory translate into high prices.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, listen, let's step away from the news to hear about Farm Bureau Health Plans of Arkansas.
Allison saved $500 a month with a health plan from Arkansas Farm Bureau. Watch to hear her story.
I got a notice in December saying that my insurance would go up to over $1,000 a month. My insurance agent called me and said, hey, Farm Bureau has a new product. I said, well, tell me more. In less than 24 hours, I was signed up with the Farm Bureau Health Plan, saving over $500 a month, and I was a happy girl. I was able to keep the same physicians, stay in the same network with the same copay. The rest is history.
Farm Bureau Health Plans of Arkansas. Trusted coverage, personalized plans, affordable premiums. Learn more at arfbhealthplans.com.
I'll finish up here by following my ag economy trend, or I should say bad economy trend, and highlight that what our forest landowners are dealing with within the marketplace. Arkansas's timber industry, which makes up 56% of the state's land use, supports more than 50,000 jobs and contributes $6.1 billion annually to the economy. And it's also in a serious decline as wood prices continue to fall. Experts say saw timber prices are about 50% lower than they were 30 years ago, even before adjusting for inflation, so it's pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
While pulpwood prices have fallen off a cliff, if you will. In southeast Arkansas, pulpwood is selling for well under $1 a ton compared to $5 to $6 just 5 years ago. This collapse in early rotation wood values makes it nearly impossible for landowners to thin their forest profitably, putting long-term forest health at risk. Oversupply is a key factor. The state is producing nearly twice as much timber each year as it harvests. 2.6 hardwood trees are grown for each one cut, and 1.6 pines are for each one harvested. Combined with weak housing construction, this quote-unquote wall of wood has kept markets glutted and prices depressed. Timber payments to landowners dropped 5% from 2023 to 2024, while harvest levels slipped to 21.3 million tons. Current prices tell the story here pretty much. Pine saw timber is $25.42 per ton, which is unchanged from a decade ago. Oak saw timber is $48.18, down from $51 in 2015. And pine pulpwood is $4.36. That's nearly half of what it brought 10 years ago. The loss of mills has further worsened the problem. Since the late 1990s, Arkansas and surrounding states have seen the closures of mills in Bastrop, Camden, Crossit, and most recently in Arkadelphia and Sparkman. Thousands of jobs were lost, and with fewer buyers, competition for raw wood has dried up. Today, only one mill in the state, Clearwater Paper in Arkansas City, still buys pulpwood and small hardwoods. Meanwhile, companies like Suzano are importing eucalyptus from Brazil to supply U.S. paper mills, bypassing Arkansas-grown timber altogether. And I think that's that particular location's in Pine Bluff.
Okay.
Experts warn that waiting for prices to rebound may be futile. Landowners who delay thinning risk the coffee, man. I should have had a cup of coffee.
Yeah, you should have.
Landowners who delay thinning risk insect infestations, slower growth, and missing the critical product shift from pulpwood to chip and saw to saw timber, where the highest returns are made. Some see opportunity in developing new markets, like wood pellets for power plants or carbon sequestration credits, but without stronger markets for small diameter wood and broader investment in forest products, the state's timber industry could remain trapped in oversupply, leaving landowners with dwindling returns and threatening the long-term stability of Arkansas's forest and rural economy. So it's the forestry industry is also getting hit. And that's also been kind of a trend every year since I've been here at Farm Bureau. So that's been, almost 6 years now. Mm-hmm. It hadn't gotten any better. Mills continue to close. Stumpage prices continue to fall. I think what stood out to me the most was the pulpwood. $1 a ton. Man, that's... And to give a little context, pulpwood is, for those, like I said, small diameter trees. They're small trees that didn't grow as quick as the rest of them. But they go in there and they cut those thin ones out to provide spacing so those other trees grow more healthy and quicker and bigger and stronger and improve quality. And then that also kind of gave you, let's say a timber tract takes from plant to maturity around 30 years. That pulpwood cutting as a landowner gave you some cash in that meantime. In between. And then it also benefited your forest too. Now, financially, you don't have much of an incentive to even get that done. And I'm curious to know if you're only getting $1 a ton, does it even pay for the cost for them to come in and cut it? Yeah. But so if our forestry specialists are saying that, which I agree with them, you've got to cut it or it's going to be a detriment to your actual land and the other trees. How much is that going to cost you to do just to, and then the other thing in this article that I read was that, 30 years ago, they harvested their land for trees. They got paid pretty well. They planted again, assuming in 30 years they'd get paid pretty well again. But you notice how much it's changed now. And some of that stuff is people's retirement plans.
Yeah. Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Or way they plan on paying for their kids' college.
Yeah.
And that money's not going to be there, at least not anytime soon, unless something in the market changes.
You spent a lot of time when you first got here working on forestry.
I did.
Is this sort of a low point from that look back?
Yeah, it was low when I started.
Yeah.
It's lower now.
Yeah.
If you want to know more about forestry, I'd go search out Tyler Oxner.
Yeah.
He's the director for that division now. He works closely with those people in our division, forestry division. But yeah, it's tough, man, and especially row crop or even livestock. It's an annual cycle. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But in a pine plantation, you got to sit there and watch it for 30 years.
Yeah. I'm curious. I mean, I'm just curious how much of this is a use base. Demand, right?
Yeah, it's 100% demand.
We're using less paper, surely. I mean, is that what pulpwood goes towards?
Yeah, pulpwood will go to like your particle boards, paper, stuff like that. Yeah. When I started, which was before COVID, those mills were closing. And I don't know if it was just because of operating expenses or the bigger mills were buying the smaller ones out, trying to monopolize and increase profits. So the competition wasn't there, and the price, of course, because of that, wasn't as good. So you couldn't go out searching for better prices. That after COVID, you did see a bump because people were remodeling their homes,
remodeling the house,
and
buying
giving them uplifts.
Houses.
And then there might have been
a glow up, they call it.
Yeah, a glow up. Yeah. But then COVID actually hit the economy.
That was pretty bad.
That was him, man. No, don't put that on me. The economy tanked. So new house construction didn't increase. And then I think new house construction, if it's doing anything, it's stagnant.
Yeah.
And it's not back to its levels that it was. So, yeah, it's a demand issue. And plus, there's just not enough competition in the marketplace.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, always good to see a forestry story come make its way onto this show.
Hopefully we have a good one.
Absolutely. Yeah, that'd be great.
One of these days.
Well, listen, my last story of the day is another USDA story. I think you said last week you needed to diversify your sources. Well, I'm giving to USDA.
USDA just putting out a bunch of information.
Stories today. So, yeah. All right. Again, Ag Secretary Brooke Rollins says the department is cutting off subsidies for solar power projects on U.S. farmland, a move she argues will protect producers and keep land in production. Speaking Monday in Lebanon, Tennessee, Rollins said subsidized solar farms are driving up land prices and making it nearly impossible for new farmers to gain access. She told the audience that instead of seeing land they might be able to afford, beginning farmers are confronted with for sale signs carrying prices out of reach. A memo obtained by AgriPulse, which is where we source this story from, shows USDA will make solar and wind projects ineligible for the Business and Industry Guaranteed Loan Program. It also restricts the Rural Energy for America program to small-scale projects while barring support for solar projects that include Chinese components or are located on certified cropland. The changes are tied to a July 7th executive order from President Trump and will remain in effect through August of 2026. The directive also fits into a broader effort of the administration to curb clean energy development and roll back climate policies. Although USDA's press release did not mention the subsidy changes, it did include comments from Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. She said farmland should be used to grow crops, not to, quote, house solar panels made by foreign countries like communist China. Blackburn went on to praise Rollins and Trump for ending what she called, quote, Green New Deal subsidies, end quote, and said the move would help protect food security while strengthening rural communities. So there you go. If you were interested in solar development on any of your land, specifically cropland, I guess, that the rules may be changing there. So nothing official yet, but that is out of an appearance by Secretary Rollins in Tennessee this week.
Yeah, I wonder if that'll have any impact here in the state because we've seen a lot of solar panels or a lot of ag land, productive ag land go into solar panels.
Yeah. Well, I'm also thinking about poultry. You know, we see a lot on poultry houses as well.
Yep.
So I'm interested to see where that may go. Pasture land sometimes. You know, we've talked about that. We had a workshop at O&L about grazing pasture lands and things like that. So, we'll have to continue to watch that and see where the impacts lie. But for now, we are done for the day, sir. So we're very glad to not be having trivia. We were telling you before we went on the show that we've been getting our tails kicked.
Yeah.
So a welcome break.
I might have something worse for me and McMinn since neither of us have eaten today, or I should say drank coffee today. So, our appetites aren't staved. But, talking about restaurants, I always bring some food talk to the show.
Yes, you do.
And last week, Justin Roten and I on our team went up to Bentonville and shot a story at a new restaurant called Wren. Very interesting place. A lot of people have probably heard of Conifer. It is a farm-to-table restaurant there in Bentonville. Very successful. The executive chef has been nominated for a James Beard Award.
Wow.
Very, very good food. All farm-to-table. They're working with a lot of local farms. They have now opened a new experience out in it's near Little Flock, and it is called Wren, R-Y-N. It stands for Remember Your Name because Chef Matthew Cooper, his grandmother used to sign all of her letters with R-Y-N, Remember Your Name. And so it's a callback to her. He grew up in the farmlands of Arkansas, big in the farms. He understood how agriculture, was a major part of all things, rural life. And so that's kind of what had led him to eventually start his restaurant, Conifer. Well, now they have bought this land that is an active working farm. So they've got, right now, I think 2 acres of specialty crops, high tunnel, all the works. I saw lots of eggplants growing, tomatoes.
They're in Bentonville or outside of it?
Outside, between Bentonville and Little Flock. So on whatever highway that is. Yeah. But
you see where he's headed here.
Yeah.
Too.
But they've got this farm. I think it's called Sun Painted Farm.
Sun Painted
Farms. Thank you. So Sun Painted Farms. But here's kind of the cool thing, that I really was like, wow, this is neat. Farm to table restaurants. We always love them. We love restaurants connecting with farmers and connecting the consumer back to the farmer. And hey, it's even cooler that, you know, a lot of their meals at this restaurant are going to be from their farm.
Yeah.
They did say not everything, you know, obviously it's what's in season and, you know, they're not growing any protein there. So, you know, any proteins are getting off farm. But what I thought was really cool, this is a tasting menu experience, which for those in the know, that does equal the dollar signs. It is not a cheap place to eat. But during this tasting experience, you go and it's 10 courses. And at the there's a little middle break after your 5th course where they invite you to go walk the farm, walk through the high tunnels, walk up to the honeybee hives, you know, walk through it all, ask questions. Their whole staff there is very knowledgeable on what they're growing, how they're growing it, you know, what they're doing. And as well as just, you know, why it's, you know, important to connect. Hey, yeah, that you know, egg parmesan or eggplant parmesan you just had, like, it was really good, but like, let's look at the plant that grew that eggplant.
Yeah,
and how it came from. This is where it came from, and this is how we grew it. And, you know, even the stuff you buy at the grocery store, at the farmer's market, it's grown in a similar way. So it's very much a real look at this connecting the food you're eating to, hey, this is how it's grown. This is in. I think for Northwest Arkansas, that's a big thing. You know, you've got so many people up there who are transplants who maybe
that's a great
have come
point.
from non-rural areas. Because even Northwest Arkansas, as you know, bustling as we like to think it is here in Arkansas, it is still relatively rural at a nation scale. But you're getting all these people from big cities coming in who don't understand that connection, and this is just a really cool opportunity for people to make that connection.
So is the restaurant on the farm?
It's on the farm. So you literally walk
We've
out the
already
door.
been talking about it.
Yeah, you walk out the door and you're in their high tunnels. You're
Be
there.
an interesting little
Sounds
twist,
like they need
wouldn't
a
it?
stamp book
Yeah,
thing
stamp.
going on
Well,
there.
we've talked about that down in the creative corridor of does this fit that? Is this something we could maybe do? Like, you know, and more than anything, we talked about, you know, maybe this is the prize. You know, maybe a prize is getting to go eat at this restaurant. You know,
maybe, but I mean, if you're getting that farm experience, you're buying something, you fit the program.
Yeah, I know that's what it seems to fit.
Yeah,
but
it's
it's super cool. I definitely I recommend anyone. You know, maybe the tasting menu experience isn't for you. So you know what a tasting menu is. If you don't know, is basically they're going to bring you multiple courses of small plates, and so it's 10 courses, but it's 10 very small courses, and just kind of a taste of, you know, all the different things.
Do they sell anything off the farm, like on the farm? Like, can you buy a product from them instead of eating in the restaurant?
Not right now. However, that is coming.
Okay.
They are. The goal is for them to open a farmers market. On site too. That then they also can invite other farmers from the area to be there selling too. So that's in their future plans. Right now, it is just the restaurant. They opened in June. But if the tasting menu experience, if the whole 10 courses, that doesn't sound good to me. Conifer, which is also, you know, run by Chef Matthew Cooper, like it's just as cool of a place. You're gonna get that farm to table experience too. Same kind of vibe, but
you can just go in and have a regular meal.
Yeah, you can go in and have a regular meal there. It's not a tasting menu, but yeah, it's just a really cool place. It's a cool idea that they're trying to do there. I know. You know, it's not necessarily new to connect, you know, to have a restaurant at the farm, but I do think it's cool that like midway through the meal, there's almost an expectation that you're going to get up and go walk around and look at the farm, and that they want you to come back with questions because they want to educate. His whole thing during the interview, which we will have a video on them out in the coming weeks, was educating and creating community. So educating about where food comes from and creating a community around that. So
perfect.
Anyway, super cool place. I definitely think, you know, the AdCast needs to, you know, make a trip up there, you know.
Oh man, I like that.
If
we can keep him awake for it.
Yeah, I tell you what.
Goodness.
Sorry I was putting you to sleep over there, John. Gosh.
I need some coffee.
Yeah.
But the wheels are turning, man. This sounds like a farm trail program.
Yeah,
it should be there.
I can understand that it's expensive.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be a requirement for the rewards, but I know we've been, you know, there's musings of maybe switching the program of how we do prizes up a little bit. So
yeah, I don't, you know, we're the plan is to increase the number of farmers in the program. I don't see us increasing the the number of prizes that people need
exactly
too
what
much.
Exactly what we were talking about.
So if that's the case, then that
it just gives you more options.
Yeah, it's another option.
It's just an option. But
if you want to go spend that
requirement.
money and have that experience, that's great.
Yeah.
It's
Get a
not
stamp.
mandatory that you have to get that one.
But anyways, super cool place. Definitely worth if you're in Northwest Arkansas and looking for, kind of a. They were very clear to be like, we don't want to call it fine dining, even though it is.
Yeah.
In that sphere, very casual, relaxed.
Can you wear boots and
you
jeans?
can wear boots and
Okay,
jeans.
okay.
You would not feel. There will be somebody there in a suit or
Sure.
coat and all that. But there are also people there. Just casual wear.
Okay.
Being people.
Being people.
Yeah.
People.
I like that kind of place.
Yeah. So cool place. Everyone should check it out. So.
Cool.
Your little date night activity.
See, that was so much better than getting embarrassed.
Roasted.
Yeah, for sure. I prefer that at all times.
Oh,
Take note.
I did watch them do
Take
some
note,
roasted
wizard.
eggplants there
Yeah?
at Rin. So, maybe there was some roasting happening after that.
Oh, got it.
Whatever, bro.
All right. Well, listen, that wraps up the news for this week. Thanks for following along with the Arkansas AgCast. We're grateful for you taking the time to watch and listen.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember, you can catch new episodes of the show every Thursday afternoon. Find video episodes on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to the audio version wherever you listen to podcasts.
Make sure you subscribe and leave us a review, and you have a few extra minutes. The Arkansas AgCast is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau. I'm Jason Brown.
And I'm John McMahon.
And we'll see you next week.